Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. This week's Torah portion is perhaps one of the saddest Torah portions, because in this week's Torah portion, Miriam, Aaron pass away. But in addition to that, Moses, because he strikes the rock in this week's Torah portion, he's told that he is going to pass on and not go into the land of Israel. And so Moses is mourning the passing of both his brother and sister, Miriam and Aaron, and in addition, recognizing his own mortality, that he will not live to cross over the Jordan into the land of Israel. But when Aaron the high priest dies, it says, Vayivku Oto, Kol Beit Yisrael, the entire household of Israel wept for him for 30 days. And our rabbis say, why does it say the entire household of Israel? By Moses' passing, it just says the nation of Israel wept. It doesn't say the entire nation. And our rabbis say that Aaron was a peacemaker. He was a lover of mankind. As it says in Ethics of Our Fathers, be like the disciples of Aaron, love peace, pursue peace, and draw people closer to the Torah. And because of that, his demise, his passing, was felt more deeply and greater by the entire nation of Israel. Men, women, children, everyone wept for his passing. This week, tragically, we lost a wonderful 82-year-old woman. Her name is Karen Diamond. Karen Diamond and her husband, on June 1st, went in Boulder, Colorado, to a program called Run for Their Lives. It's a special walk or run that takes place in dozens of communities around the country, where people walk peacefully to remember the hostages who are still in captivity 633 days later, still sitting in Gaza and being tortured. And this beautiful couple went for the first time ever to join the Boulder community in Run for Their Lives. And an Egyptian man came and threw Molotov cocktails at them, setting them on fire. And tragically, Karen Diamond and her husband were victims and hit with these Molotov cocktails, set on flames, and were rushed to the hospital. And tragically, Karen passed away this week at the age of 82. And I saw a picture of her, this beautiful, radiant woman filled with light and love, who just went to spend her Sunday to show her love and compassion for the innocent victims of the hostages who are in Gaza. And tragically, as she passed away and her funeral took place in Boulder, her husband is still hospitalized. And how do I know so much about them? Because my brother and sister-in-law are the Chabad Rabbi and Rebbitzin in Boulder, Colorado. And they're members of their community in Boulder. But let me tell you what the Jewish people are doing. Today, my sister-in-law, Scheiner, is baking cakes and going to visit all the victims once again in the hospital, as she always does, who are still recovering from their burns. And not only visiting them with cakes, but the local Jewish community wrote hundreds of get well cards and letters to the victims. And she's bringing these letters and the cakes to visit them, to show them the love of the entire Jewish community in Boulder. And just like in this week's Torah portion, the loss of Aaron and Miriam and then Moses was felt by the entire nation of Israel. Karen Diamond is not just an individual. She tragically gave her life for the Jewish people, to stand up with the hostages. She lost her life, and her husband is still in the hospital. And this is a loss that every one of us has to feel and stand with her and her families. And as a nation, we weep and we stand together. But we promise that just like with Aaron, his love and his blessings lives on till today. And so Aaron may have died in this week's Torah portion, but he's very much alive. Every time the Kohanim, his descendants, bless the nation of Israel and extend love to the Jewish people, he lives through them. We have to make sure that we don't just weep for Karen Diamond, and we don't just fight anti-Semitism, and we don't just follow in her ways and stand up for the hostages and speak on their behalf, but that her love and her legacy of standing with the Jewish people carries on through each and every one of us. And then our mourning and our grief and our despair will be transformed into comfort, into strength, and into goodness and kindness. May her memory forever be a blessing.